Start by parking the vehicle on flat, level ground with the handbrake applied. Turn the vehicle off and ensure both front and rear wheels are suitably chocked and the vehicle is safely secured before proceeding.
What's up guys, Mitch here. Today we're going to be installing one of our Superior Engineering Superflex sway bars to the front of this GQ Nissan Patrol. Now this exact same kit works between the GQ and GU Nissans. Now the kit we are installing today is our flat style sway bar that suits the hybrid style radius arm. So that works across virtually all models of a hybrid arm. If it's Superflex, Hyperflex, 5-link or just our straight hybrid arms, you use the exact same sway bar kit. There is another kit that we'll do an install on another video that suits your factory style pin style radius arms, but if you have hybrid arms, this is a sway bar for you. Now, before we get started on the install, we just want to make sure we have all the correct parts there. So we've got the sway bar itself, the chassis brackets, you want to make sure you've got opposing brackets of those, one for each side of the vehicle, sway bar link for each side of the vehicle, the bolt kit, UFO spacers, and then as well the saddle bushes. Now, with this vehicle, it is a GQ Nissan Patrol. All of our hybrid radius arms come drilled to suit 85mm sway bar brackets, which are these genuine Nissan ones. Reason we use those is they are a much better design of holding the bush retained under high flexing situations that this sway bar can obtain. So make sure you've got a set of 85mm sway bar brackets if you have the Superior hybrid arms. That is it. If you have all these parts here, let's get into the install. So as we're replacing these sway bar links and these brackets, I'm actually going to undo these nuts here whilst the sway bar is fitted to the car. And the reason for that is it makes it a lot easier while this sway bar, say this sway bar is spinning. Yes, you can put a spanner here to do it, but I always find it easier to just do it in the car so the sway bar is holding itself in place. We can then move up under here, remove the sway bar from the bottom of the radius arm. Once that's removed and the sway bar is removed from the vehicle on both sides, we can then remove the brackets from the chassis as well. Now you got the sway bar link out, you can move on to removing the sway bar from the bottom of the radius arms on both sides of the vehicle. All right, now you've seen us remove the factory sway bar. We've obviously done a fair bit of suspension upgrades since then, but now we can get onto the install of the Superflex sway bar. I'm going to start with the chassis brackets and we'll show you how those go on now. All right, so for each bracket, these do bolt into the factory location. Now, the two lower bolt holes, they are countersunk, and each in the bolt kit, you're going to get 2 cap screws and then 2 of your hex head bolts. So the cap screws go in these 2 lower holes to help keep radius arm clearance on the bolt heads, making sure you're using Loctite on all those threads. Once the bracket's located up in there with your 2 cap screws, we can then get the hex head bolts with the flat and spring washers installed, and then we can a bit of Loctite and get those in there so the bracket's all in there nice and tight. In the packet with your sway bar bushes, there will be some installation grease. Get a little bit of this on the bushes. It's a good lithium-based grease, so it helps keep good life in these bushes, stops them from binding up and getting torn out. But we can now get a bit of grease on these, get them on the sway bars. We're about to begin the sway bar installation on the vehicle. For your sway bar saddles, when you're bolting these to the bottom of your radius arms, we do maintain the factory bolts. Now, if you don't have them, your sway bar's been removed or anything like that, they are just an M10 1.25 thread pitch bolt, 25mm long. And that's all you need to go to Bunnings and grab a couple to get this sway bar installed. All right, now we've got the sway bar up in the car, we can start looking at our links. First, we've got to get these assembled. So on the bottom end here, which is the larger side of the thread, is where your Heim joint goes. So first things first, we're going to want to get our lock nut, which is the non-nylock nut that you get in the pack. So chuck that on. I'm just bottoming well, not fully bottoming them out, but chucking them on so they're on there. We can adjust it at any time once we get it up on the vehicle. And then on the top, we're just going to want to put washer on, and then a bush. That way it's ready to install to the car now, so we can hang it up in the mount. And then we can work on whether you're running either the disconnects or just the factory bolt that's going to be holding the sway bar connected all the time. We can look at that once we get over to the vehicle. All right, now we can just get the sway bar link, get the pin end mounted up into our new chassis bracket. You may need to have the bush just pre-set up in there to help press it through, depending on the life of your body mounts. And put the smaller of the nylock nuts out of the pack up on top of there. And that way it's secured to hang there nice and loosely before we get ready to connect the sway bar at the other end. In the pack for your Superflex sway bar, it's going to come with one M10 button head 65mm bolt, and it's going to come with a pack of 4 misalignment spacers. Now this is to do with the Heim joint. What you need to do when installing these is you're essentially creating misalignment to allow this Heim joint to twist during flex. So when you're installing the bolt, you're going to want to have one spacer on one side so the bolt head doesn't butt up against the Heim joint, and then the same on the other side. And that allows the Heim joint to rotate and gain angle without bottoming out on the button head bolt. And that way it's in there, it's got plenty of clearance on it, ready to go out there and flex, and so it doesn't rip this joint out. When fitting the bolt, you're going to want to fit the bolt in from the back side underneath the vehicle. What that allows you to do is keep the button head of the bolt on the radius arm side, especially if you've got a fresh, nice set of our billet radius arms. You don't want the end of the bolt sticking out facing inwards, as it could catch on the bottom of that due to your panhard swing. And on this, it'll dig a big hole in the side of the alley, ruin the look of the arms. So you just want to make that as a bit of a buffer zone. It's a bit of a skid plate rather than a big nasty bolt head. So we can stick that through, and we can misalign the sway bar link to the sway bar itself. Another good key factor as well is if you leave this top mount loose, you can just rotate this link as you need. So you can loosen this sway bar rod end off, connect the bolt through, and then you can just wind the rod end back in by twisting the link. Makes your life super easy just to get it all aligned, because then once this is aligned, we want to align the sway bar with the bottom of the radius arm. Once the vehicle's back on the ground, you leave it all loose and drop it back on the ground. You can just twist that to adjust it up and down without having to take the bolt back out. All right, now we've got everything on the sway bar loosely fitted. All the nuts, bolts, washers and everything are in their correct positions. What we can do, if you're working on the ground, you can begin to adjust those links to suit the bottom of your radius arms and your desired lift height. For us, we've obviously got to put the wheels and everything back on, check over all the other work we're doing. But yeah, you can now adjust those sway bar links to suit that. And once that's done, you can tighten everything up as the sway bar installation is complete and your vehicle is done.